Hello, this is Mary from Bloom with Mary, and I'm making this short video to explain to you a little bit about why we get hot flushes. 70 to 80% of women who get to their midlife, their perimenopause and menopausal years, do suffer from hot flushes and night sweats. It's really, really common, and they typically last 4 to 5 years, but can be up to 10 years, so it can be quite a long while. And about a quarter of women find them so troublesome they do look for help. So that's a lot of women who are finding that it's impacting severely in their life. Now, night sweats are a bit less common, but because they can affect your sleep, they can actually be more disruptive. Sometimes it's easier to cope with a hot flush in the day, whereas night sweat wakes you up. That can be very impactful. Although not all women suffer, and it is quite difficult to predict who's going to suffer, but some of the factors seem to be women with higher body mass, so heavier women who are cigarette smokers, women with a lower level of physical activity, higher levels of anxiety, lower socioeconomic status and education, and also breast cancer survivors. So that's typically some of the women who might find they get more hot flushes and night sweats. Now, I'm recording this to explain to you why you get hot flushes. Actually, the exact cause is unknown, but it seems to be associated with the rate of change of estrogen, not necessarily the exact levels. Because if you think about it, once women get through the menopause and at some point out the other side, the estrogen levels are going to be much lower, but they will get past the stage of hot flushes and night sweats. So it's not necessarily the level, it's the rate of change. And of course, in perimenopause, the levels can be going like this quite a lot. Now, this rate of change seems to be influencing the thermoregulatory system via the hypothalamus. That's in our brain, that's controlling a lot of our body function and performance, including our hormones. But one of the things it controls is our temperature control. It's like your thermostat of your body. And the more rapid the estrogen withdrawal, the more it seems to affect us. For example, especially things like surgical menopause and breast cancer chemo, those kind of things can really have a major impact on our thermoregulation, our temperature, thermostat controls. So this estrogen withdrawal seems to alter the set point of your hypothalamic temperature control. And what that means is that our body's autonomic nervous system, which controls our temperature, seems to be a lot more sensitive to slight increases or decreases in body temperature. Now, our core body temperature changes. It's not absolutely static. So between what we would call a fever, being ill, or hypothermia, there's still a range that wouldn't be natural, and maybe outside menopausal years or the menopausal type effects, you wouldn't know that your body temperature is going up and down particularly. But during these years of the estrogen decline, it seems that zone gets narrowed. It's called the thermoneutral zone, where our body feels quite happy with what our core temperature is. And if it goes up just a tiny bit, it thinks we're getting too hot, and then boom, it brings in the systems to cool us down, which is sweating. Hence the hot flushes. So these small elevations and decreases in our core body temperature seem to be what we're much more sensitive, and that's what's causing the hot flushes and night sweats. Now, it's estimated that 50% of hot flushes, night sweats, are caused by internal and external events. And so the theory is that we might have some control or be able to have some influence over these events. So things like ambient temperature, okay, might not be able to control that, but that was also about what you're wearing. But also triggers such as caffeine, alcohol, hot spicy food, rushing around, hot drinks, but also anxiety and stress. again, seem to sort of reduce the range that our body is comfortable with and makes us much more sensitive to the body thinking it has to trigger the cooling system. And also sometimes the warming systems. Sometimes it's not unusual for menopausal or perimenopausal women to feel very cold or go lurch from one to the other. So the range of our body temperature we're much more sensitive to. So our body kicks in the cooling or the warming systems, if you like, much more severely. So how can we reduce these hot flashes? Now, if you listen back to or think about what all the factors that I've said make it more likely, so the first stage is, are any of those factors you, and could you make some changes to your lifestyle to change those factors? So, for example, low physical activity, if you don't do a lot of exercise. Personally, I found that made a lot of difference. I was running and I went out in all weathers because even though it was pretty grotty out there, it was better than having major hot flushes. I decided on balance that was a better thing in my life. So have a think about all those different factors. If stress, anxiety, busy life, difficult homework balance, those kinds of things are a factor, they can be quite big issues to address. And I'll talk in a minute about how you might be able to address it. But I'd like to offer you a suggestion of something which might be a little bit more immediate, and which is using essential oils. Now, I love essential oils. I am a doTERRA wellness advocate. Hold up my hand, but I'm doing it because I use them and I believe in them, and I really think they can make a lot of difference. So if you are someone who's prone to stress, anxiety, as I said, that might take a little bit of work. That's not going to be changed overnight. But if you have an essential oil that you can pour a drop on your hand and you can breathe in, and that in-breath brings in all the therapeutic properties of that essential oil. Things like peppermint can provide instant cooling, but you've got instant calming as well. If you find the right ones for you, they can be phenomenally useful for just that instant crutch, if you like, while you're working through maybe some longer term. If you think that just making one or two changes is not going to be enough, or you're a bit overwhelmed about knowing where to start, or you find it difficult to change habits, then get some support and help. I've actually designed a program, Managing Hot Flushes Naturally, because I know so many women come to me and they say, I'm struggling with hot flushes. So my program is a combination of some one-to-one work, so you get the individualised, personalised attention. We look at embedding these essential oils, so you've got those immediate crutches, something that you can use there and then. But it's also, the heart of it is a group CBT program, and cognitive behavioural therapy is a proven technique in clinical trials. It's been proven to reduce the frequency of hot flushes by up to 50%, which is quite a lot. That's the kind of HRT level, and it also improves your ability to cope and other benefits as well as the actual reducing of the hot flushes. I am a trained and qualified cognitive behavioural coach. And this means we really look at the whole range of what your cognitions, which is what you're thinking. Are you saying to yourself, it's a bit embarrassing? Are you saying, oh no, everyone's going to think I'm old and past it because this is a demonstration of my age, that menopause and that whole association with women getting older? Do you avoid situations? Do you find things tricky because you think you're going to have hot flushes? I mean, I know women who've left jobs, and that's just tragic. That it's to do with what we're thinking and how we're able to cope with it, and that's what this program addresses. So you can find details of the program. I don't know when you're going to watch this video. I'm recording this in February 2019, but it will be on YouTube, so you may watch it later. But have a look at my website, www.bloomwithmary.co.uk, and look at Work With Me and see what programs that I have available. And if you have any questions or you would like some support, then absolutely feel free to contact me, mary@bloomwithmary.co.uk, and that's for any advice on essential oils, managing hot flushes, or any lifestyle changes you would like to make but are struggling to do on your own to manage your menopause symptoms. And if you're not already, do hop over into my safe and supportive Facebook group, where I provide lots of tips and advice, and you'll find that on Facebook, and it's called Blooming Menopause. Thank you for watching. I hope that's helpful. Catch up with you again soon. Thank you. Bye.